Why not? Be framed. Yeah. Hey, everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about stop being mad at yourself for being overweight, because there's a good chance you're really mad at yourself that you're not doing the things to lose weight and stay thin and healthy. But you can't really be mad at yourself because you don't know what to do to be thin and healthy. You know that you should stop eating so much. You know you should fight against yourself, but that's not enough. And you ain't alone. 75% of the population of adults in America are overweight or obese. So there's probably something more to it than knowing what to do and you're just not doing it. Because a lot of areas in your life, when you know how to do something right, you do it. You know how to brush your teeth, you do it. You know how to eat certain things, you do it. You know how to do lots of things and you do it. Knowing that you shouldn't eat as much as you're eating is not knowing how to eat thin and healthy. Does that make sense? So it's easy to know what we shouldn't do. It's a lot harder to know what we should do. And you keep making the mistake that you already know what you need to do. You just need to force yourself and fight against yourself and punish yourself until you actually do it, which is completely wrong. And if you talk to people that have actually lost weight and kept it off, you will realize this very quickly, that the real path in front of you that you need to walk is to learn how to be thin and healthy. And you need to learn it because you don't know how to do it, which is why you should stop being angry with yourself, stop being mad at yourself, and start learning. Because by being stuck in this mad, angry mode that you're in, you keep perpetuating the illusion that you know what to do, and you just need to fight and force yourself to do it. And that's not an accurate representation of what's going on here. The truth is, you do not know how to think like a thin, healthy person. You don't know how to live like a thin, healthy person. And you do not know how to eat like a thin, healthy person. So if you don't know how to do something, why would you be mad at yourself that you're not doing it? Instead, start learning how to do it. And then you will get much better results. And then there'll be no need to be mad at yourself. But the anger and the getting pissed off at yourself and hating yourself and all this stuff that you keep trying to do to motivate yourself and force yourself to do the right stuff is not the problem, and it's not going to work. You need to learn. You need to learn how to think like a thin, healthy person. And until you do, it's just going to be this nonstop battle against yourself where you never get the results long term. Sorry to tell you. Again, all it takes is a couple conversations with some people that have lost weight and kept it off, and you quickly realize that they had to learn how to think, live, and eat like a thin and healthy person. It wasn't just about fighting and forcing themselves to do things they hated. So I hope this makes sense. If you want to go deeper into this process, click the link in my bio and go get the hypnosis session that I made for you. It's free. Go watch the video I made for you. It's free. And I got some new cool stuff coming for you next week. It's free. I have an app I just put out. So all that's free. So I'm here to help you. Meditech says, I'm not exercising. You can't really lose weight without it. That's not true. That's totally not true. You can absolutely lose weight without exercising. So starting off with wrong information. So yeah, you do not need to exercise to lose weight at all. That's bullshit. But I respect that some people don't exercise and don't lose weight too. But lots of people exercise and don't lose weight too, because it all comes down. Oh, look at that. Hart says lost 50 pounds without exercising. Oh, gasp. Good job, by the way. But yeah, you don't need to exercise. So people exercise and don't lose weight. People don't exercise and don't lose weight. And it's because their calorie consumption is staying the same. So if you're not losing weight, it's because you keep eating the same amount of calories. If you're gaining weight, it's because you're eating more calories. And if you're losing weight, it's because you've reduced your calorie consumption. And yeah, why would you need to exercise? Meditex, sure, but it's too slow. Ounces a week instead of pounds. That's bullshit again. Meditex dropping a lot of incorrect information. I hope you don't comment on too much stuff because you're wicked wrong. Yeah, so you can what your rate of weight loss is going to come down to is your rate of calorie decrease that you create. So you could sit in a chair all day long, and if you reduce 25, 50% of your calories, you're going to lose weight. If you reduce 25% of your calories, you'll lose weight here. If you reduce 50% of your calories, you'll lose weight faster. And I'll take you one step further. Even if you exercise, exercising is not correlated with weight loss. So look the studies up, because there's a thing called a constrained energy expenditure, and your body very quickly starts to reduce the calories burned, even though you're being very active. And beyond that, usually when people start exercising from zero to exercising a lot, they get hungrier, they get more tired, they get more sore and uncomfortable, and there's a licensing effect. So they start overeating and eating more. So wrong, and wrong. But hey, I take the no bullshit oaths. What am I going to do? I'm not always right about everything, but I'm right about this. You do not need to exercise. Exercising's fine, though. I'm not saying don't exercise. Please understand that. You exercise, you love exercising, knock yourself out. Lots of benefits from it. But no, it will not make the rate of speed faster for most people. So, I love you says trying to do 80-hour fast for mental clarity. Whoops. Where'd that go? Trying to do an 80-hour fast for mental clarity and productivity this weekend. Great. As long as you're not doing it for weight loss, I think that's fine. You know, there's lots of reasons that a fast can be good. Weight loss is not one of them. Now, let me be clear. Yeah, weight loss is one of them. If you love, if you're a person who loves to lose weight and then put it right back on, if you love that roller coaster ride, which I know a lot of people say they don't like it, but I don't know. I'm not sure, because it seems like that's what everyone does. Everyone seems to lose the weight and then put it right back on. And especially you fasters. So yeah. If you're truly doing it for mental clarity and productivity, then I say knock yourself out. I don't know how productive you'll be. And I don't know how much mental clarity you'll feel. 80 hours. How many days is that? What is that? A 4-day fast about? The ballpark? 3-4 days. I'm really fascinated. I'd love if you popped in here. Let me know how much mental clarity and productivity you feel. I know when I've done fasts, I was obsessed with food. I was very not feeling good. I wasn't productive at all. I felt kind of tired and I didn't feel good. Fasting wasn't for me though. The different things for different people, right? So all the best to you. But make sure you're not doing that for weight loss. Because that don't make no sense. It says, yes, calorie reduction. Yeah, of course, right? It's all about calorie reduction, folks. It's all about calorie reduction. Lisa T says, do you believe that chronic obesity doesn't always respond to calories in versus out? Chronic obesity, what's that mean? I don't know what chronic obesity is actually. I mean, just being obese for a long time. I'm not sure about that phrase. I'm not really exactly sure what that means. But is there any body on the planet that doesn't respond to calories in versus calories out? I'm sure. I've heard of that more with people. It's real outlier stuff, and I'm not even going to talk about it because you'll all glom onto it. Because dieters they just want to believe their body's broken, and no matter what they do, they won't be able to lose weight. So it's such a real outlier condition that I don't like talking about it because it's not affecting you most likely. But no, calories in, calorie out always works. The problem, I mean, maybe you're referring to, there's a study they refer to a lot of times, and it's based on The Biggest Losers. And they went and they've been studying them for a couple of years now, the few that were able to keep the weight off. And what they found is that their hormonal signaling was basically such that it was trying to get their body back up to a higher weight again. So it's primarily leptin signaling. So basically, you just feel hungry a lot. Or you're feeling hungrier, and then when you eat, you don't feel satisfied until you've kind of eaten the amount that gets your weight back up. So I think that's a real important point to understand, because I think a lot of people conflate that process just makes you eat more. So again, when it comes down, because if let's just take it the different direction, a clearer one. They're giving the GLP-1 hormones to obese people, morbidly obese people, and these people pretty much are all losing weight. So the GLP-1 is not changing. You're not eating the same, and now all of a sudden your body's just burning tons of calories off. It is causing you to feel full, and so you're eating less. And so the way they're working is they're reducing the calories you're bringing into your body. A person's not hungry, so they're not eating, and then they're losing weight. So to that point, that's true for pretty much all of us, that we all live in a physical reality of a thermodynamic reality that's calorie in, calorie out. That's what's dictating your weight. Are there exceptions? I mean, there's extreme cases, but it's probably not you. So again, watch out for that, because I mean, a real limiting belief, because the second you believe no matter what I do, I can't lose weight is very powerless. Yeah, Hart says calorie deficit is the driver, exercise is the passenger. Yeah, sure. Again, exercising is great. Lots of great reasons to do it. Weight loss really isn't one of them. What do you want from me? So for most people, I mean, I've known that for a long time just based on my own working with people, but now I scientifically have found there's proof of that with this constrained energy expenditure model. But I think most people, again, if you're struggling with your weight and you haven't been exercising, you haven't been doing stuff, exercising is not going to help you. That's not the first thing you should be putting your energy into. You should put your energy into getting your eating right. So Della says, but it increases your metabolism by having higher muscle percentage. Yeah, sure. But that is such a tiny fraction of things. So there's no question that resistance training and muscle. Now, this is specifically, again, we talk about exercising as the spectrum of exercising, right? There's cardio to resistance training. So resistance training, yeah, if you start to lift more weight and you start to build more muscle, that helps with body recomposition. However, be aware too that it's going to show up as extra weight. So, again, you have to be very clear with your goals. And so if you start doing a lot of resistance training, then recognize that you're looking to bulk up and build muscle. And so again, as your body recompositions, the weight loss may not show up on the scale as you expect it. So as long as you're going with the right mindset, great. But yeah, this theory that you're going to build enough muscle to burn calories, again, it's theoretically, it's absolutely true, but practically for most people, it's going to be very negligible. And the biggest effect you can make in your weight is to reduce the average calorie consumption. That's going to be the fastest, most sustainable way to lose weight for most people. Because again, if you're starting from zero, if you don't exercise, the amount of exercise you would have to do, the amount of resistance training and muscle building you would have to do is a lot. And it's going to be a lot slower than just losing weight by reducing calorie consumption. Thoughts on these supplements like Berberine that mimic GLP-1 or marketing bullshit? Marketing bullshit. Anything that's a supplement, I would never believe. If it was an effective supplement, it would be a pharmaceutical with a patent on it. There's no supplements that are going to help you lose weight. Berberine, I've kind of heard of it. I'll just say it's straight out bullshit. I'm going to look it up and we'll just officially make it bullshit. But, yeah, mimicking GLP-1 hormones, marketing bullshit, I can tell you right off the bat. Okay, berberine, a compound found in various plants such as European barberry and Oregon grape. So again, just as a shorthand I always use is there's no berries in the Amazon. There's no plant leaves from the Himalayas. There are no, flowers from the, caves of Denmark. There's none of this stuff is going to make you lose weight. Okay. So yeah, it's bullshit. I would save my money and I would invest in that money. Instead, I would take it and go buy some fruits and vegetables and eat those. It makes me crazy. I will tell you, if you want to know the magical cure to your weight issues, I'm like, and I mean this, and I don't, me, if you know me, you know me. I'm not a big magical cure guy, but I will give you the closest thing to a magical cure when it comes to your weight. It all comes down to fiber, real fiber that you get from fruits, vegetables, greens, beans, and whole grains. And I know you don't want to believe me, Because you want to talk about boosting GLP-1 hormone? You know what boosts GLP-1 hormone? When you eat foods that stay in your gut longer. Your gut's what makes GLP-1 hormone. And so when you eat foods that have a lot of fiber in them, they stay in your gut longer. And you start to create more GLP-1 hormone. When you eat these foods, you have to chew more. Chewing more creates more GLP-1 hormone. When you eat foods that stay in your gut because they're fibrous, we don't digest the fiber, it stays in our gut, it activates your ileal brake. And that causes you, because by the way, GLP-1 hormone is one hormone they've identified that can help you feel fuller. There's other things, again, I love science, but science doesn't know the whole story. So it's not rocket science. If you start eating more whole natural foods, if you start eating more fiber specifically, and for all you paleo people, they now know that paleo person was consuming an average of 100 grams of fiber a day. All the societies in the world, virtually, minus, some that live really north that don't have any plants, some other ones that just have different customs or live in a desert, are eating tons and tons and tons of fiber. So that's the secret, because when you eat lots of fiber, it makes you feel full. It's nature's Ozempic is fiber. And then you eat whole natural foods, and then you get the micronutrients your body needs. You get the hydration your body needs. It's not rocket science. You don't need any miracle fucking pills. You don't need some magical potion or powder or tea. You don't even need this bullshit, Ozempic. You got to stop eating so much processed food, because processed food is literally designed for you to be overeaten. I don't know. I try to have some empathy. I have lots of empathy. I try to have not empathy is not the right word. I try to have some understanding that most people haven't done the research that I've done. They haven't read the books I've read, and this is what I'm trying to share with you, though, that the core of your weight issue is not your willpower. It's that you don't have the knowledge you need. You're living in a trance, but that's been cast on you by the food companies, and you're completely confused and lost with what to do. Now, I don't want you to get mad about that. I want you to get inspired by it. It's exciting. It's funny. I had such a great call yesterday with a coaching client, and man, it was such a good one. And we were talking about self-love, and she goes, I wish. She goes, because one of the lessons in the program was about self-love. And she goes, I start to think about self-love. And she goes, but then I start to feel bad that I haven't been more loving to myself and to other people in my life. And now I feel bad, and I feel like I should forgive myself. And my point was that I think that's the wrong way to look at it, because you never, she grew up in a situation where there just wasn't a lot of nurture, caring, communication. There wasn't a lot taught about self-love. So she just never thought about it, never learned it. And if you've never learned something, how can you blame yourself? That, to be honest, that's a little bit of where today when I said, stop being mad at yourself for being overweight. I know you're fucking so mad at yourself. I know that. But I tell you, I don't think you deserve to be mad at yourself, because you don't even know how to be thin and healthy. If you knew how to be thin and healthy and you weren't doing it, then I would say, okay, now you can be mad at yourself. But you've never learned how to be thin and healthy. No, diets are not how to be thin and healthy. Diets are how to be an overweight person who tries to lose weight. You've never learned how to be thin and healthy. How many people have you talked to that have lost weight and kept it off for 2-3 years enjoyably? And I bet that's number 0, which proves that you don't know, but you think you do, because again, you've been so completely bullshitted by the diet, industry, that you think you know, and you don't. So again, if you don't know something, it's not really an option for you. Being thin and healthy really isn't an option for you at this point, because you don't know how to do it. It's as much an option for you as you all of a sudden waking up tomorrow and speaking Chinese without committing to learning it in a strategic way. You can be mad at yourself when you wake up tomorrow and you can't speak it, or you say, well, I haven't learned it. Well, that's where you're at with your weight loss. All right, I'm going to move through these questions. I know I was missing questions yesterday, so I feel bad. If you ask a question I miss it, please ask it again. Neely said, I've tried to fast and it does the opposite for me. Feel horrible. Yeah, same with me. I feel like shit when I fast. I do not like it, and I'm glad I stopped doing that. What's up, Carrie? How's it going? Lisa T says, I'm listening. Nice. I love you says, I've been fasting for years. I do 3-day fast a couple times a year. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. So that's a different thing. Yeah, great. That's super. He says, yes, the whole set point and crazy appetite. Yeah. But again, what you have to understand, because I've studied this stuff, it's so funny because someone was sending that to me the other day, an article about that, or a video podcast from it. And it's a guy who wrote a book. What's the name of the book? Oh boy, it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. But it's Steve Guyanet. You can look it up. I forget the name of the book. But anyways, long story short is, yes, your body does, these set point things are real. I mean, obviously, but you can mitigate them. You can work with them. You just have to have a much more comprehensive approach. You have to understand that most of this stuff about, oh, people lost weight and then they put it back on, that's within the context of dieting, meaning that they just drastically reduce their calories. So that's not a comprehensive strategic plan to live at your goal weight. So just reducing your calories, yeah, you're going to fight against that set point thing. You're going to fight, but there's a mental set point too. But yeah, when you just drastically reduce your calories, eat the same shit, just eat a lot less of it, you'll lose weight, and then you're going to fight against this bounce back, this set point thing. So in Program Yourself Thin, we absolutely deal with this stuff because there's a mindset component to it. There's absolutely a lifestyle component, and it's the eating component. You can't just cut the calories down. You got to transform your diet somewhat. And all of these things start to, in my opinion, work to reset your set point somewhat, and you strategize to deal with the parts of it that don't reset completely. So again, I think it takes a strategic approach to live at your goal weight forever. And I think, just even the whole diet philosophy is this idea that you're going to get to your goal weight and then just, it's all, the work's done. Okay. Yeah. The work's not done. The work's just beginning, because your weight mastery is a never ending marathon. And I know that depresses you, but that's because you think about it all wrong. What do you want? I've been doing this for 30 years. I lost 50 pounds the same way for 30 years, one blip 12 years ago. I haven't dieted once. I don't work out. So, it can be done. You just got to learn what to do. Yeah. Carter says, can you include an email, maybe some of the books you've read and would recommend? Yeah, I know. I keep meaning to do that. I'm finally, but good Lord, I couldn't believe it. I was like, it's been 6 weeks. 6 weeks I've been working on this app thing, which was such a drama in my life. And finally it's getting settled, which it feels really good. And I'm excited for all of you that aren't even in the program, because there's going to be a free section. So I'm super excited to get you all in there. I'm really, really excited about this. But yeah, part of that, I think maybe in the app, I will probably put the book. So again, folks, if you're interested in your weight at all, I'm going to challenge you here, because I think most people don't give a shit about their weight. I think you weigh what you want to weigh. I think you weigh exactly what you want to weigh. You could think of your weight as a motivation measurement. And however, whatever your weight is probably a pretty good indicator of how motivated you actually are. For most people, I find that to be very true, which is not way to say that you don't really give a shit about your weight. You think about it all the time, and you complain about it all the time, but you're not really doing anything. You're not that committed to fixing it. And I will prove it to you all. No one gives you more free shit than I give you. And you can start off just by going to the link in my bio and get the hypnosis session. I give you a free video. I email you stuff all the time. I got an app coming out. There's going to be a whole bunch of shit in there. I'm literally going to give you a training how to choose your goal weight. I give you a training 3 steps to master weight. All this stuff's free. I'm going to have an app where I'm going to put some cool stuff in there. There's free hypnosis sessions in there. And all you got to do is take 30 seconds, click a link, and go opt in. And so, yeah. So if you're not in my world yet, go do that, because I think in that free section, I will start putting some books that I've read. I'll put some book lists up, because I read a ton of books. I usually read in the ballpark like a book a week. When I'm at my high, half a book to a book a week. But that's why I can never remember them. This is a real good book. I remember the really, really good ones. But most of them, they're fine. But they're kind of just, they're all saying the same shit. So they kind of go in one ear out the other. But I will do that. I will put that in the free section. I'll put book lists, because for those who like to read, I think reading books is really just one of the most helpful things you can do as well. Lisa says, so to me, if GLP medication is working, doesn't that mean something was broken? Oh, no. I don't think that at all. I think if the GLP-1 medicine's working, what's the GLP-1 medicine doing? It's increasing a naturally occurring hormone in your body called GLP-1, right? And so it's artificially increasing that hormone so that you feel fuller and then you eat less food. But we got to look at what's the person doing before they get on the medicine. What's their diet? What's their lifestyle? To some degree, what's their mindset? That's going to be less impactful on a physical level. I'm not saying what you think can change your GLP-1 levels. I don't believe that. But I do believe what you think can change your lifestyle and your eating, and that can change your GLP-1 levels. And I think that drastically boosting GLP-1 levels is just one way to go at your weight. And I think it's a valuable way, but I think there's natural ways to increase your GLP-1 hormone. And so to me, it doesn't, if something was broken, yeah. And usually what's broken is the person's diet and their lifestyle and their mindset. So I would say, yeah, the GLP-1 does not fix that. Again, metaphorically to me, the GLP-1, it's like you got a giant cannonball hole size wound in your stomach. You've been shot with a cannonball, like the cartoons. And now the GLP-1's like a giant Band-Aid that fits over. It's like, hey, you're all fixed. Well, are you? Are you all fixed? Just because you feel like you're nauseous and totally full all the time, and so now you just eat less bullshit? So again, and by the way, what I had not known, I just learned this week, those GLP-1 medicines work for weight loss wise. If you get on a GLP-1 medicine, you're going to lose weight for 12 to 16 months. And that's that. Now you're on it for a lifetime to sustain that. So you're looking at probably about a 25% reduction max. There you go. So a lot of people are getting on these medicines when they're obese and they're continuing to be obese. Now, don't get me wrong. These are very powerful medicines. I would never disagree. They're right in the ballpark of bariatric surgery effect. And it's a lot less invasive. So, again, I think there's a place for it. If you don't want to do the mindset, lifestyle, eating work that we do in Program Yourself, then I think that's probably the best next thing, especially if you're obese, because obesity is related to a lot more bad effects, than these medicines. But these medicines, as we move forward over time, I think the shine's going to come off them a bit. And, but again, I'm not against them. I don't want to sit here and say, I don't want to shit talk these medicines, because I think for some people, it's absolutely the right answer. But I also know that most people don't really even have any clue how to think about their weight in a holistic, comprehensive way. And they never even give the stuff I'm talking about even a shot, because they just don't know about it. And that is why I'm here every single weekday talking about this with you all, because I'm trying to get this word out, So, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, any questions you may have about weight, feel free to ask them. Joy says, I got PCOS, nothing is working, but I don't qualify for GLP-1. What to do? I've worked with plenty of people with PCOS. So again, the first thing you got to do is realize, yes, I can absolutely lose weight. Nothing's working. I hear that so much, but when I go into detail with people telling me nothing's working, their nothing is really pretty limited, so I don't know what you've done, Joy, to attempt to lose weight. And don't tell me everything, be specific, but what have you done to actually attempt to lower your weight? And I think we'll quickly find out that you have not done everything. So we can't say nothing, right? Those are two extremes that you probably haven't, reached. What's up, Julie? So that'd be my first step. Now, listen, PCOS is real and it has an effect and it can slow down your results, and it's a real thing, but there's no reason I've seen that you can't still lose weight. I think if you have PCOS, menopause, type 2 diabetes, Hashimoto's, thyroid issues, you can still lose weight. It's just, I think, and I'm saying this real simplistically, but I think one of the key things in those factors that's extra important is the lifestyle piece of it. So again, I think everyone needs a comprehensive, holistic approach to master their weight. I think people who have physical issues need it even more. So again, Joy, if you want to go into specifics of what you've tried, I can almost guarantee that you haven't tried everything. So, which you should be happy about. Again, don't get in defensive mode. You know what I mean? Like, we want to recognize where the mistakes are, but what I would suggest first is go get the hypnosis session I gave you. Watch the video I made for you. Watch the video. Okay. The hypnosis session is not going to make you lose weight all by itself. Well, it will, it could, but, again, that's why it's like, I'm not even selling I was for a little while. I'm like, I'm going to sell the hypnosis program. I got the #1 hypnosis program on the planet. So, but I don't sell anymore because I don't want to just help you lose weight, is what I decided. If if you're not committed to actually live at your goal weight for the rest of your life, then that's not the program for you. So anyways. Like you said, don't need apple cider vinegar either. Yeah, that's the big one now, right? Too. Yeah, there's not one thing. Not one thing. Do you think there's a relationship between my face swelling and cortisol? It could be. It could be. And maybe the food you're eating, it could be stress, could be a number of things that can cause that. Oh shit. I'm trying to get to the questions. God damn you. TikTok hard to find the questions. Marg says, how to get out of the dieter's mindset. Okay, it's not about getting out of the dieter mindset. It's about creating a new mindset. Real important. This is, again, something I teach in the program. This is foundational. Your subconscious mind doesn't understand negatives. So I tell you, don't get your willpower. Don't think about a banana. Don't think about a banana. What are you thinking about? Right? So don't think like a dieter. I want to stop thinking like a dieter. I want to stop. What are you thinking about? Like a dieter. Okay. So the answer is never to stop thinking like a dieter. It's to start thinking like a thin, healthy person. How do you do that? Find a thin, healthy person and pick their brain. I've already done all this for you. I've been doing this for 30 years. This is the big shift I made. Is I stopped listening to dieters and I started listening to people that successfully lost weight and kept it off. And I've formulated all that into a system. And that's what Program Yourself Thin is. Lisa T says, you make so much sense. And then I listened to the Plus Side podcast and they call GLP-1s today's miracle. Yeah, of course. You're going to hear tons of that because it's all a big, that's the problem with the influencer culture is most of it is built on financial incentives, which you say, yeah, Jim, you're selling a program. I do have a program and I coach and all the rest of it. But this podcast piece is completely free. And I give lots and lots of stuff away for free. So, I take a no bullshit oath for whatever that means to you. But I think that, and listen, I think the GLP-1s in a certain context, they're absolutely like miracles. So I understand where they're coming from. But I think that first of all, my goal isn't just weight loss. My goal is to help people live at their goal weight for the rest of their lives on your autopilot. And I take the weight loss and I wrap it in personal development. Program Yourself Thin really is a personal development program. So if you just want to lose weight and you don't want to do any of this other work, this is not the program for you. GLP-1s are a miracle. If you're the type of person that likes my program, you're an overthinker, you're a type A type of person, you're action oriented, you're successful in a lot of areas of your life, but not this area. That's the people I work with. And they want to figure this out at the core. They want to transform themselves into the person they want to be. And part of that is living at their goal weight, being the person they want to be, with all the things that come with that. So again, it's a different goal, I would say. So again, whether GLP-1s are a miracle, depending on what your goal is, you see? And so, yeah, but yeah, be careful you're listening to though, as well. Cause a lot of bullshit out there. What's up, Tabitha? Yes. Happy Friday. Mark Bell says, I always lose the weight and gain it back. Can you tell me how I can stop that cycle? Yeah, absolutely. You start stopping that cycle right from the beginning. You dieters, your goal is always to lose weight. That's all you care about is I just want to lose weight. So the finish line is getting to your goal weight. So you dieters, your goal is to lose weight. And Program Yourself Thin, we're focused on weight mastery. The goal is to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. And I just want to point out the reason 95% of dieters estimated that lose the weight, put it back on. So clearly there's a problem with maintenance. And I would suggest that it's obvious right from the beginning that you think of dieting as a temporary thing. You think of weight loss as a temporary thing. And so your mindset is that of a dieter, someone who's overweight, who just loses weight. I'll go in a little bit deeper. If you're overweight and have been overweight for a little while, your mindset is that of an overweight person. What's a mindset? Let's just keep it real simple. It's how you think and how you behave and how you feel. So if you're not actively dieting and trying to lose weight, you're just living your life, you're overweight, right? The food you like, what you do, how you live, how you think, whatever, it just keeps you overweight. Okay. And it's easy. It's natural. It's automatic. That's what you normally do. I'm overweight. Okay. So then you start dieting. Now, dieting is not a mindset in and of itself. It's an anti-mindset, meaning that you have all your thoughts, behaviors that you normally do. And now you're going to diet and you're going to fight against them. So you say, let's have a muffin for breakfast. No, we can't do that. Let's have a cookie after. No. Let's have this. No. And you know yourself right down to your goal weight. Okay. But the same problem exists. that you still only have an overweight mindset and you can't keep dieting forever. And so what do? You stop dieting, and what happens? The weight goes back up because that's your mindset. That's what you know. So this is really important because we're built to live on autopilot. We're not built to micromanage every decision forever. That's why dieting doesn't work for long. It works for a little while. I never argue that. I'm talking long term. You're not built to micromanage every little thing you do. You're built to live your life on autopilot, to run on your subconscious programming. Your reading is a subconscious program that runs automatically, like your toothbrushing, right? You don't have a schedule. You don't have an alarm that goes off to remind you to brush your teeth every day. You just do it automatically, right? That's another subconscious program that you installed. You weren't born with it. Okay. And a lot of your eating habits have been installed. Your lifestyle habits are installed. And that's what runs automatically. And so when you diet, you try and fight and force yourself to do shit, but you can only do that for a little while. It's not how your brain's designed to work. So the big difference with Program Yourself Thin is we're looking to install new subconscious programs. This is how I've been able to lose 50 pounds and stay at my goal weight for 30 years without dieting, without working out, without struggling, I love how I eat, and it's all automated pretty much. I mean, again, I say on near autopilot. I'm still, kind of like a garden at first. It's a lot of work to get it going, and then you got to tend to it, maintain it. So I still maintain things, but it's way easier than you dieters all think because I've focused on automating it. So a lot of my thinking, my lifestyle, my eating is all very automated. So I naturally and automatically do the things that keep me at my goal weight. So I hope that makes sense. But my goal from day one, and Program Yourself Thin, on day one, we start with maintenance because that's the whole goal. I don't give a fuck how fast you all can lose weight. And that's what you all are obsessed with. You're all obsessed with how fast can you lose the weight. But the only way to lose weight fast is to do something extreme. And the more extreme the thing is that you do, the less likely you're going to be able to do it for very long. How many times have you all tried keto and been able to do it for a little while and then you stop because you're miserable? Keto is the dumbest diet to come down the pike, by the way. Okay. But all the diets are very similar like this. Counting every calorie forever, tracking every point, restricting yourself down to 1,200 calories, 1,000 calories a day. You're setting yourself up with things that you're only going to be able to do for a little while. And so that's how you stop the cycle. Is you start the cycle, you start a different cycle. You stop the dieting cycle by not getting on a diet. And I know that's hard for y'all to wrap your head around. Because well, I'll just do the diet and then I'll do this, Jim. No, you won't. 95% of dieters don't keep the weight off. So again, just to drive the point home, if your goal is just to lose weight, then that's a temporary thing, right? So, okay, I'm going to cut down. I can do anything. I can do anything really hard for a little while. That's what you say to yourself. And that's all in service of a goal. Like, I just want to get to my goal weight. But if your goal is to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life, you're going to need different strategies. When the goal becomes, I want to live at my goal weight for the rest of my life, all of a sudden keto and carnivore sounds silly. Counting points and counting calories sounds silly. You want to do that for the rest of your life? And a lot of these diets become really silly. So again, that's where it starts, is the goal you set for yourself, what you're focusing on. Tabitha says, I got 4 shots today to get blood drawn and a glucose test for 3 hours. Oof. Yeah, I don't like shots. Lisa says, great. Can't wait to see the app. Yeah, the app's going to be cool. Oh, cool, Tabitha. Yeah, get the hormones and insulin resistance check. Nice. Lisa says, I'm so motivated, but get discouraged with the data about gaining it back. Yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. I would hope you got, so I would get discouraged about the data gaining it back, and then I get motivated to find a better way. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, I know dieters can't even understand what I'm saying when I say this, but you dieters don't know how to live as a thin, healthy person. Like, it's just a blank space in your mind. There's no information there. So how are you going to make it happen? You're not referencing anything. So in Program Yourself Thin, for example, we follow the weight mastery pyramid: mindset, lifestyle, eating. Mindset's 6 categories: motivation, self-image, habits, emotions, thinking, and maintenance. And we go in depth to that. There's weight mastery blueprints. There's trainings that take you through filling out your blueprints that fill all this stuff out. But think about those 6 things. You have no idea how to motivate yourself. You don't know how to actually motivate yourself. You probably never think in terms of your self-image and identity. Do you identify as a thin, healthy person, or do you identify as an overweight person? Even when you lose the weight, dieters still identify as an overweight person. And then they're terrified of getting the weight back. Habits. You have no idea how to strategically influence your habits to work for you. You just know how to fight against them. Emotions. You have no idea how to feel the emotions you want and deal with the shitty emotions you don't want to feel other than food, most likely. So you need to learn how to genuinely understand and deal with your emotions, influence them. Thinking. You don't know how to think like a thin, healthy person. You've probably never even been around a thin, healthy person who was overweight. Again, there's a difference. People have been thin and healthy their whole life. You're not going to learn a whole lot from them. We need people that have transformed. That's where you get the most learning from. And then maintenance. How are you going to stick with it? How do you deal with times of stress? How do you deal with the whole ups and downs of life that happen even when you're at your goal weight? And you've never thought about any of these things, most likely. And then there's the lifestyle, right? There's 8 habits in order of importance: sleep, hydration, relaxation, breathing, nourishment, movement, meditation, gratitude. So you learn how to practically and strategically and comfortably weave these into your life, and they support the final piece, which is your reading. And the eating and program yourself thin, you create a customized plan for yourself. This idea that someone's going to tell you, oh, just stop eating carbs. Huh? That's it? It's not that simple. So you need to create a plan that works for you and that you find enjoyable. And we structure our reading. So, again, I just say this to you, like, no wonder you'd be discouraged. Because what do you do? What's your weight loss? So there's my weight loss plan. Okay. What's yours? You're going to cut carbs out? You're going to not eat for 16 hours? That's it? Like, what about your motivation? What about your bad habits? What are you going to do with those? I'm not going to do them anymore. Oh, really? Really? We've been talking a lot about that in the coaching program is just this ridiculous brain we all have in our heads that really just believes in ridiculous fairy tales. And no one believes in more dumb fairy tales than dieters. Dieters believe the dumbest shit out of anyone on the planet. I swear, I'm convinced. Right? This idea that this magical Monday is going to show up and what? You're just going to show up and it's Monday, so I'm going to eat perfect from now on. What evidence do you have that that's even possible? And it's like you just want to believe it so bad that you just believe it, even though there's no proof of that ever having happened. So, yeah, I'd be discouraged too if I was a dieter. I mean, again, I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm trying to point out it's not you, though. There's no knowledge in your brainstem about how to live as a thin, healthy person. You are overwhelmed with knowledge of how to be a dieter. We all are. And if dieting worked at all, 75% of American adults would not be overweight or obese as we speak. So I think you're right to be discouraged, but I think you're wrong to think that you know everything there is to do, and that's why you're discouraged. I would use that discouragement as saying, Christ, dieting doesn't work. It sucks. I'm going to find another way. And then hopefully that motivates you a little bit. Kent says, what's up, Kent? Kent says, 4 months following PYT and well on my way to changing mindset, lifestyle, and eating in a sustainable way. Yeah. Again, Ken's in the mastery program, and it's like, it's just shit that makes sense. So I try to tell you all, like, I use this example. I don't know if this is hitting or not, but it's like, you don't have to be that good at math. But if you go to take an accounting program for a couple years, however long it takes, you'll be an accountant. You might have no mechanical aptitude. You go to a mechanic school, you'll come out a mechanic. You might not be the best mechanic, but you'll be a mechanic. And what I'm trying to say is you never gone to thin and healthy school. I think of program yourself thin like a college course. I'll take through all the nuts and bolts and show you how to be a thin, healthy person in a way, in a granular way that you've never even imagined. And you can start just by clicking the link in my bio and go get the hypnosis session and watch the video I made for you. I'll break it all down. It's like 20 minutes. And I know I do this every day. I've been doing this professionally for 20 years. I've been doing this podcast for over 2 years now. But I know the vast majority that listen never even go there, which is why, again, I mean, it's not a surprise because I know the vast majority of people that are overweight don't really give a shit. But anyways, great job, Kent. Yeah, it's not rocket science. Once you learn this stuff, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Ken, hear what Kent's saying, everyone, right? I got many strategies that I follow now without really thinking about them. You hear that? That's what I'm talking about. You do this in all other areas of your life. You've got all these strategies that you've developed. You have to understand we've been raised by corporations. Your brain has been filled by food companies. You've seen tens of millions of food ads in your life. Each advertisement is a hypnosis session looking to influence you to get you to overconsume bullshit foods. And on top of that, those foods are highly addictive. Then on top of that, the food companies own all the big diets that you're referencing about how to lose weight. So they're filling your head with rocks about how to lose weight. That's why you're 30 years into trying losing weight and you're no closer to losing weight than you were 30 years ago. That's fucking nuts. You say, what? The diet company? Yeah, Weight Watchers was owned by Heinz. Jenny Craig was owned by Nestle. Atkins Food Products owned by the same company as Cinnabon Pretzel and Auntie Anne's Pretzels and Cinnabon. Slim Fast owned by the same company as Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream. So you wonder why you don't know how to lose weight? Because they keep, and they must just be giggling. I always think the diet companies must be giggling to themselves about how easy it is to trick people. Because what's the big thing? I always imagine the diet company executives just literally in a room where you can't even hear yourself talk because they're laughing so hard. Every week, it must be something funnier. They must come and say, oh my God, you're not going to believe it. This week, we got them to not want to eat fruit. We told them the sugar in it. They don't eat fruit. You should see. Go on social media, see it. They won't eat fruit now. And then I'll start laughing. Say, wait, hold on. I got one. Is it better than the fruit one? Yeah. They stopped eating vegetables. We told them the carbs were in the vegetables. So they stopped eating vegetables. And they're just laughing and laughing. Imagine, you know how shut down your brain needs to be when you start worrying that fruit and vegetables are going to make you overweight. Do you realize that? Because I know you may think it. Don't be mad at yourself. Don't be mad at me for saying it. Don't shoot the messenger. But when you take a step back and think about this for a second, do you really think that fruits and vegetables are the reason you're struggling with your weight? Do you think the answer is to eat more meat? But how do you think everyone knows this? I'll tell you what, I'm here every fucking day talking this stuff. And I reach this many people. The don't eat fruit because there's sugar in it has swept the nation. How's that possible, do you think? Do you think there might be some money behind that? Do you think not eating fruit, not eating vegetables supports processed food companies? Do you think maybe? Well, I do. Wow, Joan, thank you. Joan's in the program. She said, you're the best curriculum writer I know, and I have a master's degree in curriculum and instruction. Wow, I didn't even know that. That really is a feather in my cap. You made my day, Joan. Thank you. That's nice. I don't disagree. I'm obsessed with this stuff, and I've had to create my own curriculum. I promise you, I'm a person who is lazy, and I got fascinated by this stuff. And at some point I said, I just want to learn this. Where can I go and learn how to be a weight master? I said, I just want to get it. I want to get a degree in it, and I want to teach it. And I looked around. Hey, no one's talking about this stuff. No one's really talking about it, not in a complete way. And so I had to do the thing that I least wanted to do. I promise you. I'm a person who just like to learn something and teach it. And instead, I had to embark on a 30-year journey of coming up with my own system. That's why you're not hearing anyone talk about this way. Because no one's talking about it this way. Everyone's talking about how fast you can lose weight. And that right off the bat sets you up pretty much. The faster you lose weight, the shorter you're going to lose it for. So you don't hear people talking about weight mastery. You don't hear that phrase. You never once in your life, unless you know me, you have never thought, I bet, that your goal, hey, my goal is not to lose weight. My goal is to live at my goal weight for the rest of my life on near autopilot. You've never said that. You've never thought it. You've never heard someone say it. And that's scary. And that's the reason why you're struggling with your weight. More than your willpower. Mo Burrell says, have you lost weight? Your content is so powerful. Thank you. I meant, have you suffered from obesity? I have suffered from obesity in the sense that my father died when he was 54 of a heart attack and I was 9. I've suffered a lot from obesity from other people. I have never been obese. Okay. I was 50 pounds heavier than I am. I was on the edges of it, and I think if I'd never learned this stuff, I think I would have been always on the edge. I don't think I ever would have been obese. I don't feel that way, but I do feel like I would easily be 50, 60 pounds heavier than I am now, somewhere in that ballpark, I think. But I've suffered from obesity because people in my life that I love have suffered from it. And so I've directly been affected by it. But I appreciate you saying the content's powerful. I'm glad you said that. Sometimes when you talk so much, you get a dry throat. User 649 says, Jim, please talk about a sample of what will be a healthy breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. I mean, just whole food, whole foods, right? Whole natural foods, fruits, vegetables, greens, beans, whole grains, things that don't have a ton of ingredients in them. Ideally, things that don't come in boxes or bags, things that are naturally oriented, things that aren't made by big bullshit companies, So I know that's not what you want, but I'm not gonna sit here and go through every meal just because I don't like to tell people what to eat. Because first of all, program yourself into diet agnostic. So people can do whatever. I work with people in the program, they're carnivore, and I couldn't disagree with a diet more, but I don't give a shit. It's not my diet. It's not my body. You eat what you want to eat. I'm here to help you do what you want to do. And so I don't preach what to eat, and I don't really like talking about that. And I'm on top of it, that's not my specialty. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. I know a lot about it, obviously, but that's not what I like to do. And plus, because that's not what matters anyways. Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, folks, you keep thinking that you just don't know what to do, which is true. And it's true, but it's not in the sense you think. I could give you a big book of nutrition that had all the nutritional facts in the world in it and give that book to you, and it's not going to do anything for your weight. I could literally send you to a dietitian or nutritionist, have them give you a customized meal plan specifically for you, and you're still not going to lose weight because you're not going to follow that plan most likely. So again, I don't really talk a lot about the specifics because that's not the main thing stopping you all from losing weight. The main thing stopping you from losing weight is your mindset. You know enough to lose weight. The problem is you don't know how to get yourself, you know enough about what to eat and what not to eat. You don't know how to get yourself to do it, So what's up, John? John says, have any of the big bad food companies approached you and said, stop passing on your information? No, not yet. But I do wonder that sometimes. I don't know. I mean, will this ever be any bigger than it is now? I have no clue. I got a book that I'm working on. So when that comes out, maybe not, but the book doesn't even matter. It just depends how big it gets, I suppose. But yeah, you can be sued from libel laws. That's why I am very clear that not to mention specific food places because they can sue me. They can sue people. There's libel laws that are very advantageous to the companies. So yeah, I'm very careful of that. No, but no, I have not anyone say that. I don't think I'm on these companies' radars. You know what I mean? So I'm not too worried about that, but maybe someday, who knows? AM says, what about just psyllium husk instead of tons of fruits and vegetables? No. Because it's not just the fiber and the fruit, my friends. It's the micronutrients. Here's a concept for you that I never hear. I've made this up myself, so I might be wrong on this. I literally have made this up in my own head. So maybe I'm wrong. But in my belief system and in my experience, personally with my clients, if you don't eat enough calories, what do you end up feeling? Hungry, right? If you don't get enough calories in your body, you feel hungry. Okay. So doesn't it make sense though, that if you're not getting enough micronutrients, that you might get a hunger signal too? We do know that a lot of times thirst is confused with hunger. Why? Because we evolved in an environment where we ate a lot of our hydration, because a lot of natural foods have a way higher water content in it. So it makes complete sense to me that part of our hunger is the micronutrients that we're getting or not getting. And if we're not getting micronutrients in our body that we need, it makes sense that our body would send us a hunger signal because our body thinks we're in the natural world and that when we eat, we're going to get these micronutrients in our body. So I've thought that for a long time. And when I started adding these giant salads into my life and I started putting way more fiber and micronutrients into my body, I started to feel more full than I've ever felt in my life. So I would not just have psyllium husk. Again, I know we want to do that. Again, I think, and then I find too, like I just read that this week, I didn't know this, but lots of chewing creates more GLP-1 hormone. So I know people don't want to hear this, but I think you've got to transform your diet into a natural diet, the diet we've lived on for millions of years. It's so crazy to me. I think of it as the biggest psychological operation on humans. I really think it's probably the biggest one, is how they've completely transformed how we think about eating in 50 years. We ate the same basic types of food for millions of years. I know 10,000 years ago, we started doing agriculture, but it was all natural food. And in 50 years, they've completely manipulated the food into being ultra processed. And that's what most people are just eating all of now. So again, I think we have to get back to just a more natural way of eating. And every time I've done and seen someone else do it, there's multiple benefits from it. So no, I wouldn't say just psyllium husk. I would say you want to transform your eating to a more healthy diet. Incognito, how's it going? Can you define an overweight mindset? Yeah, overweight mindset. Yeah, it's part of it's what you think about, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what your behaviors are. Okay, so an overweight mindset, what you think, and a lot of it's what you don't think. So again, I've always said this, and I will continue to, that as a hypnotist, I thought I was going to put people into trance to help them lose weight, but I have found it's more that I'm pulling them out of trance. So I think a lot of overweight people are thinking about food completely. I did this. I used to think completely different about food than I do now. And a lot of that thinking about food that I did was actually not thinking about it. I was very much in like a trance. I wasn't paying attention to what I was actually putting in my body. I would say things like, say, well, don't you want to be healthier? Fuck, I'm going to live as long as I want to live. Oh, what am I going to do? Yeah, but you can live longer. Oh yeah, like the last 10 years, who gives a shit? Those are the worst 10 years. Stuff like that is part of it. How I think about food, just thinking that calories are what fills me up. Even though the more calories I ate, the hungrier I was. Being completely disconnected from the reality of that. I mean, I could go on and on because it's so much. But yeah, a lot of the thoughts I had, a lot of the beliefs I had, a lot of the awareness I had or didn't have, that was that overweight mindset. How I ate, though, let's talk about the behavioral programs, part of that mindset. I would get up. Back in the day, I would eat. Breakfast was Wonder Bread, Jif, peanut butter, cereal, which wasn't even that bad, Cheerios or Rice Krispies that I put a bunch of sugar on top and then scoop the sugar out at the end with the milk. Then I'd have a snack, muffin, donut, croissant. Then I'd have lunch, sandwich, chips, usually a cookie, milk maybe as well. Then I'd have a snack in the afternoon, chips, small bag of chips, candy bar, soda. Then I'd have dinner, ton of calories, a lot of carbs, fried food. At least it was cooked. My mom made it, so that was usually the healthiest meal. And then I would snack all night. So those are my behavioral programs, and that's what I was expecting to eat each and every day, and that's what I was wired up to do. Okay, so that's just a part of what my overweight mindset was, and it's different for different people. But now I think completely different about food. I think I've completely different behavioral patterns in me. So the lifestyle patterns I had, I used to stay up till 2 a.m. I'd wake up. I was always exhausted. I never drank water. I didn't do any relaxation stuff. I didn't do any breathing exercises. I didn't consider nourishing my body at all. I didn't think about moving. I did move a lot. I played basketball and sports and stuff. So I did do that piece of it. Gratitude. I didn't do that. So I'm referring to the program yourself then habits, but I didn't do any of those things pretty much. So yeah, that was my overweight mindset. And And then when I try to lose weight, I try and fight against all that. So it was pretty hard. Vicky says, fear of gaining weight back after years at Weight Watchers lifetime brought me to PYT. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Vicky's in the program. She was a lifetime Weight Watchers member. And again, Weight Watchers is one of the better it used to be. It was one of the better plans out of all of them. But even that one's just woefully inadequate for what you really need, I think, to live at your goal weight. But yeah, Vicky's killing it. And you can learn a lot of stuff she wouldn't have learned there. Yeah, I needed more mindset support than I was getting at Weight Watchers. Yeah, exactly. Shannon Nana. That's a cool one. Shananana. What is PYT? PYT is Program Yourself Dim. Program Yourself Dim. That's the program I do. It's also this podcast, but again, if you're new to the world, I would suggest and urge you, click the link in my bio, go get the free hypnosis session I give you. I'm one of the highest paid hypnotists on the planet, folks. It's $25,000 to work with me privately. It's $2,500 for a session with me before I make a hypnosis. So again, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing here. And part of my mission in life is to help as many people as possible live at their goal weight. So I do this live every weekday for free, answer your questions, help you out. It is a podcast too. You can listen on all the podcast platforms. And it's a TikTok channel, the rest of it. Let's say AM says, love your hypnosis. What about psyllium husk? Yeah. Thank you. Glad you like the hypnosis. Yeah. Psyllium husk. I think I just answered that. It's bullshit. Just eat real food. You get lots more benefits out of than just the fiber. And it's a better fiber anyways than processed fiber. LV Stars says, I keep binging and eating bad food. Yeah, a lot of people find themselves in that pattern, right? Any recommendations? Yeah, I mean, when you keep binging and eating bad foods, what you want to start to do is understand the pattern of it. First off, there's a pattern to your behavior. You're most likely not eating and binging on these bad foods all day and night. It's probably happening at certain times, maybe at night, maybe on Fridays, maybe when you get pissed off, maybe when you get sad. So start to kind of understand what your patterns are. And once you start to understand the patterns and what's triggering them, then you can start to work on finding solutions for them. And what I would suggest is once you start to notice the patterns, pick the pattern that shows up the most and then focus on that one for a while, make some headway with it, find some solutions for it that you can keep going, and then move on to the next one. Lisa said, I haven't eaten a banana in 16 months because of the sugar, right? That's funny. It reminds me when I was, AM says that makes a lot of sense. Good. I'm glad that makes a lot of sense. That's my goal here, is to try and make some sense of this crazy world, this crazy weight loss world we all live in, which is just full of bullshit. That's why I take the no bullshit oath. Because when it comes to weight loss, I mean, it's all bullshit. And I mean that literally. Even the people that know what they're talking about seem like they're full of shit. It's just crazy. And it's insanity making. Yeah, Lisa said, and I love bananas. Yeah, that's the sugar thing, right? So it's funny, that's what I was gonna say. Like I remember I was playing with AI, like the picture, the image generators, and I was doing all sorts of like food executive type, negative pictures. And I should show them. I should put them. That's what it's like. Again, I don't know how much I want to push this, because I don't necessarily want to stand on the radar, but I don't need to have these giant corporations. I don't need to be in their crosshairs. But anyways, yeah, folks. I mean, these companies, just to bring it point home, with the food companies, we have such warm, fuzzy feelings about them, but the food companies are the cigarette companies. You don't have warm, fuzzy feelings about the cigarette companies, do you? So it's the same thing. I mean, literally, Nabisco and RJR Reynolds are literally merged together as the same company. Isn't that crazy? And the parent company of General Foods and Kraft. Those are two big companies. The parent company of that one is Philip Morris. So the cigarette companies, they saw the writing on the wall back in the 70s, and they divested from cigarettes and went into the food industry, and they brought the exact same philosophy to create the most addictive product possible, use the most aggressive marketing they possibly could, and then sit on the science of how bad it was for you. They do the exact same thing with food right now. There's going to be warning labels on food within the next 20 years, because it's deadlier than cigarettes. The food is killing more people than cigarettes at this point. So again, you have warm, fuzzy feelings for these food companies, but you shouldn't, because they're the cigarette companies. And so you should be feeling the same way about them. If you don't, you should. Yeah. Karen says, I eat a banana almost every day. It takes away sweet craving and good for your potassium. Yeah, I eat a banana every day too. Yeah. Banana is the most popular fruit in the world. Bananas are great for you. If you're worried about the sugar from bananas, like, again, I don't know what to tell you. It's crazy talk. But dieters will believe anything. Dieters will fucking believe anything. Dieters are the most gullible people on the planet. I get it. I mean, I know you're desperate, but stop being a gullible dieter. I told you that. Like, they're just laughing at you. They're laughing at you. The food companies, the diet companies, are all laughing at you. Now the GLP pharmaceutical companies, they're all laughing. And I say that to you to trigger that anger in you, because that has been shown. You being angry about the companies that are manipulating you is shown to be a much more effective motivator than you being mad at yourself for being overweight. So they've studied this. So yeah, you gullible dieters, stop being so fucking dumb. Stop being so gullible. You're just like putty in their hands. You're just going to fall for the neck. I mean, what do you fall for anything? You're just going to eat meat? It gets to the point where you're not going to eat fruit and you're not going to eat vegetables and you're only going to eat meat. You're at the height of the diet mountain. But I know you're never really at the height of it, because there's always something coming down the pike. What else? What's next? But how much dumber can it get? If you want to lose weight, you're going to stop eating fruits and vegetables and you're only going to eat meat. It's the top of the dumb diet mountain. Plant your flag there. You made it. You're the most gullible person on the planet. You like being called gullible? Probably not. I'm busting your chops. Don't get mad. I'm just joking with you, but it's true. They laugh at you. You don't like being laughed at? Not because you're overweight, because you do dumb shit. Like you just, what, the next diet? The next diet? Just waiting for the next diet? Well, it seems like as good a place as any to end it, but I love you all. I don't mean this. I'm being a dickhead on purpose because I'm trying to get you to feel the things you should feel for the food companies. You get these warm fuzzies for these companies that are trying to kill you and your family and your friends, and you should feel differently about them than you do. Don't get mad at me. I'm trying to help you. I'm doing everything I possibly can to help you out. So I'm just busting your chops here with that, but you should be upset about it. Yeah, they're all gonna laugh at you. Made me think of the movie Carrie, right? What's funny is before I ever saw Carrie, although I did see Carrie, and I don't remember that scene, but Adam Sandler did a skit on that, and that tape he did was one of the funniest tapes I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, they're all gonna laugh at you. But yeah, they're laughing at you dieters. Again, that's why I'm here, because I don't want them to laugh at you. I'm here trying to help you out. So if you are serious, go click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session, watch the video, listen to hypnosis, read the emails. I'm here to help you out. And this is also a podcast. Program Yourself Thin. It's on all the podcast platforms. Go check it out. Here every Monday through Friday. If you have questions, pop on here, and I'm happy to kind of do what I can to help set you straight and get better results. You know what I mean? So yeah, there it is. All right, everyone, have a super day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.